This is the definitive iPhone customization guide where you will learn to personalize your iPhone like you've never thought possible, without jailbreak. I've broken these down into multiple sections to make it even easier for you to follow, so whether you just got an iPhone or you already have an iPhone, you can get started right away and learn a bunch of new things. We will start with your lock screen and gradually progress to the home screen and beyond. So what is the first thing you see when you look at your iPhone? Your lock screen. And let's be honest, it probably sucks. To fix it, you need to change your wallpaper. But the question is, where did you get your wallpaper from? Because everyone has different tastes in wallpapers and it can be difficult to find the wallpaper you like, I did my research and found that majority of users can be broken down into just 4 categories. First category is nature. If you want to bring the great outdoors right to your phone, then Unsplash is just the place for you. It has all the scenic and nature wallpapers one could ever want. All it takes is a quick search of a general term, and you get thousands of incredible imagery to choose from. Honorable mention goes to the official NASA app in this category. While Unsplash does have a great supply of wallpapers, I think the NASA app has much more to offer. From high-resolution images of our space to galaxies to whole other planets. I would also like to mention Wallpaper in this category as well. Both definitely worth checking out. Links are in the description. If you are the abstract type, then nature probably does not appeal to you. I mean, let's be honest, who even likes the outside? I don't even know what the sun looks like. So if you're like me, then Vellum and Abstract are the apps you're looking for. Vellum is free and does come with ads, but I think they're quite reasonable as they're non-destructive. It has a ton of wallpapers to offer from many different sources, including Unsplash. It also has some of its own original wallpapers as well. Same goes for Abstract, which is another incredible option if Vellum does not scratch your itch. Created by Hampus Olsson, you might know him from his exceptional wallpapers for OnePlus. It offers a ton of amazing original wallpapers. While Abstract offers 4 whole categories of wallpapers for free, the subscription is quite affordable, only $5.99 annual or just $1 a month. Honorable mention in this category goes to the subreddit r/imaginary landscapes for amazing handcrafted artworks. Not exactly abstract, but abstract enough that it needs a mention. And once again, Wallpaper, filled to the brim with abstract wallpapers. I don't know how they do it, it's just incredible. Pop culture or art was quite a challenge to research because it was a pain to find a good wallpaper of movies, shows, or characters. After a lot of research, ArtStation was right under my nose. It's the perfect place for this category, offering a vast collection of high-quality images from movies, popular TV shows, iconic characters, anime, and everything in between. The only downside of ArtStation is that you might struggle to find vertical images that fit your screen. But don't you worry, because I have a solution just for that coming up later in the video. So you no longer have to search for only vertical wallpapers anymore. Honorable mention in this category goes to the subreddit r/textless posters for an endless supply of high-quality movie posters with no text over them. And of course, you won't believe it, it's Wallhaven again. I swear it has literally everything you can imagine. For the minimalist category, I could just tell you to find a solid color image on Google Images and call it a day. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Screen Z is a minimalist stream. It has different types of colored wallpapers from extreme minimalism, that is just one solid color, to gradient or stripes. Depends on how minimal you're feeling. The only control it gives you are these 3 RGB sliders. I'm sorry to think that they might have took the minimalism meaning a little too seriously here. However, if that is too minimal for you and you're okay with some maximalism, then Unsplash is the way to go. There are a sea of minimalist collections for wallpapers on Unsplash that will surely have what you're looking for. I will have some of my favorite collections in the description below. Honorable mention goes to subreddit r/minimalwallpaper, which is an active community sharing clean images almost every day, so there's always something new for you to find there. Another great list that minimalist community seem to quite like is the Black series by Jean-Marc Dennis. These are super crisp dark wallpapers that, in my opinion, are far better than just a solid black wallpaper. Highly recommend checking it out. And Wallhaven. I'm sorry, it's just that good, okay? It's not my problem that it has every wallpaper under the sun. Alright, so for this video, I'm going to be picking this incredible wallpaper from Unsplash. Linked in the description if you are following along. As a bonus tip, if you're downloading from Unsplash website, tap the down arrow next to the download button and then tap original to download the highest resolution image. Then we're going to go into downloads, tap the image, tap share, tap save image to save it to photos. We downloaded a wallpaper that isn't in vertical aspect ratio. If we set it as is, you will notice it crops out much of the incredible scenery. But how do we keep the entire scene in frame and eliminate the black bars? Well, I have just a solution. To do this, we will be using a website called Runway. Open up Safari on your iPhone and go to runwayml.com. Side note, because this website also has an app, the feature we'll be using is only available on the website. So downloading the app will not be very productive. Also, this video is not sponsored or affiliated by Runway or anyone for that matter, so keep that in mind. Once you are logged in and access the dashboard, open the hamburger menu, scroll down and select Edit Images. Then tap Expand Image. The website is not intended for mobile, so you'll have to do this operation in landscape like a caveman. So turn on Auto Rotate and rotate your phone. Let's upload our wallpaper by tapping the Upload Image, select Photo Library and select the wallpaper you downloaded. To make sure it fits your screen perfectly, adjust the aspect ratio to mobile vertical 9:16. This keeps the whole image in view without zooming out. The last option is an input prompt box where you can type in prompt and it will add in detail in your existing image. If you want to expand the image without anything new added to it, make sure you clear the prompt text, which I'm going to do here. Tap Generate and wait a few seconds. What this will do essentially is stretch the image up to 9:16 aspect ratio, but instead of cropping in, it will use generative AI to fill in that empty new area, essentially expanding the view of the image. For the most part, it does an incredible job, but sometimes it will create some really wonky results, so you will have to regenerate to get the best result you want. Once you're happy with the one you like, tap the download button on the top right corner, go to Downloads, tap Share, and Save Image. Now if we preview it in Photos, you will see the wallpaper now fits our entire screen, including the view we wanted without cropping, which is amazing. But what if we could take this one step further? See, on iOS 17, Apple released a feature called Live Wallpapers that lets you set live photos shot on the iPhone's camera as your lock screen wallpaper, which animates when you unlock your iPhone. What if I told you there is a way to animate any still image or video you have and set it as an animated live wallpaper? Now, like I said, this is only available on iOS 17 or newer, so if you're on an older iOS version, feel free to skip this section. Here is a timestamp you can skip to. We will use StoryZ for still images because it allows us to animate any part of our wallpaper and is also free, which means you can have clouds moving or water flowing, for example, bringing your lock screen to life. After installing StoryZ, make sure you skip over all dialogues on your first install. Tap the big plus icon and pick Ripple. Feel free to explore the other effects if you like. Select your wallpaper and I'm going to click on Check without cropping. We will animate our image inside the Animate tab. Motion is where you define your animation's direction, such as if I drag from the right to left and tap play, StoryZ will move that area of the image from right to the left. The slider at the bottom defines the intensity of your animation. The lower you make it, the smoother your animation will be. But as you may have guessed looking at this animation, mountains do not move with the clouds. So you need to draw a mask over it to make it stay in place. After defining your animation direction, scroll over to Mask and draw over the area you do not want animated, like this. Feel free to zoom in to make a nice precise selection. If you think the animation is too fast, you can adjust the speed in the Speed tab. Keep in mind that live wallpapers significantly slow down on the lock screen, so I will suggest keeping it relatively fast to compensate for it. Once you're happy with your animation, tap the share icon at the top and export it as video, not as live wallpaper. The live wallpaper option here will not give you the option to animate on your lock screen. We will export it here as video and then use another app called Video to Live to create a compatible wallpaper for our lock screen. The free version of ScreenZ will add a watermark on your video, so you can just do this and you are good to go. Let's now make it a compatible wallpaper using Video to Live. Once installed and in the app, tap Video to Live Photo. Select the video we just exported, then tap Next. Same goes for any other video you want as your live wallpaper. In here, you don't need to make any changes. However, sometimes you will encounter an error when setting it as your wallpaper because iPhone becomes very picky with live photos for some reason and will not work despite the workaround the app already shows you after you export. So if you encounter the same issue and the workaround does not work, go back to the editor and using the timeline sliders at the bottom, trim your video down to exactly 3 seconds. Then tap Make, select Live Photo for iOS 17 and then wait for it to export. Let's head back to Photos and see what it has created. If we tap and hold on the image, you can see it plays our animation. Let's set it as our wallpaper by going to Share, Use as Wallpaper. Here, make sure you don't move your wallpaper because if you do, your iPhone will shift the position of your wallpaper before the animation can be played, which in my opinion defeats the purpose of a live wallpaper, unless you're going for a particular look. So leave it at its default position and turn on Live Photo by tapping the button on the bottom left corner and then tap Add. Since we're already here, tap on Customize and turn off Blur for the home screen, because we will be customizing the home screen in just a moment. Now we can technically leave it at that and move on to our home screen. But I think apart from making the lock screen more cleaner, we can make it more functional, like maybe adding more icons other than just the flash and the camera. Before I show you how to do that, let's clean up the lock screen first. For this, we will install an app called MD Blank, which is a cool little app that lets you create empty widgets you can place anywhere for essentially an empty space. We will use it later for the home screen, but for now though, let's go to our lock screen again, tap and hold, tap customize and go to lock screen. You get the gist by now. Tap on the clock, and for my particular wallpaper, I think a sans serif font will work best, as it looks more uniform. But of course, you can pick whichever you like. I will make it as thin as possible and leave the color to adaptive, as it looks better when it blends with your wallpaper. Now let's apply our empty widget by tapping on the calendar at the top and select the blank widget that MD Blank provides. This will hide the month name and make the lock screen much more cleaner. Now comes the widgets. Let's install one more app that will also come in handy later in the video called Icon Board. This one is a powerhouse for iOS theming, and we will use it to its full potential very soon. Right now we will only explore its widget section. Here you can create a widget that can open any app on your iPhone from your lock screen. On my Android phone, I always have a shortcut that lets me quickly open the dialer app so I can quickly access my contacts. Tap the big banner to open the editor. Tap Open App and search for the app you want to open. I will search for phone. You don't need to open the URL, but you can tap on Test URL to make sure it opens your desired app, which it does for me. And yes, as usual, system apps do go through the Shortcuts app, which is a bit annoying, but it unfortunately cannot be avoided for widgets as far as I know. Thankfully, this will not be an issue for the home screen. In the Icons menu, you get a big list of icons to choose from. At the time of recording this, there is no way to pick your own image, so you are stuck with what's pre-built in the app. So pick whichever you like and tap Done. Just like before, let's go to the Customize section of the lock screen, and in here we will tap Widgets, scroll down to Icon Board and pick whichever variant of the widget you want to use. The first two will have a circular background, but you can also pick a borderless one, which I will do here. Close it, tap Done, and let's check it out. Look at that. Like I said, it opens Shortcuts first as usual, but I still find it quicker than unlocking and then opening the app, especially when another app is already in the foreground. Something to keep in mind about widgets feature in the Icon Board is that the free version only allows you to create one widget. So if you need more than one widget, you will have to buy the Pro version, which is a one-time purchase of $12.99. And that concludes our lock screen. It's now time to move on to our home screen. Let's start from a clean slate by removing everything from our home screen, including the dock. If you don't want to get rid of your current layout, just add an icon to a new screen and hide your current one. That way you have a backup of it and you can recreate your current layout with a new look if you want. Before we add and theme our icons, we need to do something about the dock situation first. This might be an unpopular opinion and I might be making some people angry here, but the iPhone's dock never looks good on any wallpaper. There, I said it. While we can't remove it, we certainly can't hide it. To do this, we're going to be using an app called Dockland. Dockland gives you a plethora of options to customize or completely hide your dock. You can recolor it, give it a glow, or turn it into a Mac window if that's what you're into. For this video though, we will be using the gradient option. Swipe the peaking panel to the left and tap the image icon to select your wallpaper. Then you can swipe at the bottom to choose the gradient's height. The first and second gradients are the gradual gradients, meaning they blend better with the wallpaper. Dockland is quite smart and will pick a color for you that blends better with your wallpaper. But you can always adjust it to your own liking. Make sure you pick the dark mode as well, because that's the mode your dock will hide in. So if you pick dark mode, you'll need to set your iPhone to dark mode as well. In light mode, your dock will be visible again. Once you're done customizing it, tap the export icon at the top and wait. Wait for the app to go away. And alright, since we've already set up our lock screen wallpaper, we will not select it here, but if you didn't and you just want a static wallpaper, export both and set them individually to ensure they align properly. Once that's done, we will open Photos and set it as our home screen wallpaper. Very important note, don't set it as your lock screen wallpaper here, because otherwise you will lose your current live wallpaper. And check it out. Our dock is now blending with the wallpaper as if it is not there at all. I showed this to some of my iPhone friends with a different wallpaper and their minds were blown by this. And we haven't even scratched the surface yet. So now that we have set the perfect wallpaper, let's now move on to customizing our icons to match. To begin, you'll need an icon pack and an app to customize the icons on your home screen. For icons, I will be using my newly released minimalist icon pack Brief for iOS, but you can use any icon pack of your choice. Reef was originally made for Android, but after numerous requests, they are now finally available for iPhones. Made with precision so they can be applied over any wallpaper of your choice. Unlike most other iOS icon packs, Reef will be regularly updated with new icons. They come in various different formats for all different application methods that we will talk about in this video, so they can be applied seamlessly on your home screen. Be sure to check it out from the link in the description and use code YouTube at checkout for a 20% discount. After your purchase, you will receive your icons in a form of a zip file. Make sure you extract it and store it in a folder where you can find them. I will store mine in the downloads folder. So for applying icons, we will be using Icon Board, which we've already talked about. I love Icon Board because it's very user-friendly and it makes an otherwise tedious task much simpler and quicker, as you will see very soon. While the app is mostly free, the transparent icon feature we'll be using requires Icon Board Pro. Icon Board Pro, as I've said before, is a single purchase of $12.99. This is not a sponsored video, and I've been using Icon Board for a while, so I can certainly say it's well worth the investment. Again, this is optional only if you'll be needing transparent icons. Otherwise, the app is free. Alright, now that everything is set up, let's go and set up our home screen. In Icon Board, navigate to Home Icons tab and create a new empty home screen. You can give it a name if you'd like to keep things organized. This is your editor. This is where you can customize your icons, edit their placements, and apply them through various different methods. You will have to create a new screen like this if you want to create a multi-page setup. We currently have an empty home screen, so let's add some icons by tapping the Icons option and selecting Import from Files. Navigate to where you stored your icons. Like I said before, I stored mine in the Downloads folder. All icons in the Reef icon pack are categorized by type to make it easier for you to find your icons. Select every icon you wish to import and then tap Open to import them into your screen. After import, you will get a pop-up telling you which of the icons have been assigned. Each app on the iPhone has a unique identifier called a bundle ID, which distinguishes one app from another. When Icon Board identifies your icon based on its file name, it automatically assigns the right bundle ID to it, so when you tap it, it opens its corresponding app. Apps that do not yet assign, you can tap on the app and go to Open Action option. Here you can either search within its database or add your own bundle ID if you are unable to find it in its database, which can happen for some obscure new apps. If we hide the configuration menu, you will notice our background is a solid color, and our icons are also not transparent. That's because our icons are not set as transparent. To do so, tap on any icon in the imported icons list. Scroll down to background type and select Blend with Background. Go back to the list, tap and hold on the icon and select Copy Style to All Icons. This will apply this setting to all other icons at once, saving you a lot of time. Now only our icons don't have a background. If we were to export these icons, we will get the solid color background that is already set in our screen. To fix this, scroll down and change background to image. Then tap image and select your wallpaper. It's important to remember that this is not the live wallpaper, this is the static wallpaper we exported from Dockland in an earlier step. If you're not using a live wallpaper or in the future you decide to use your own static wallpaper, you should tap export after selecting your wallpaper. Then set this image as your wallpaper on your home screen. This will ensure your icons maintain your wallpaper background when exporting and align properly on your home screen. If you remember in the original setup I showed you in the intro, I had 3 widgets on the home screen. However, if I apply these icons as they are and then add my widgets, my icon backgrounds will misalign with my wallpaper. If I show you here in my dummy setup and I move the widget to the top, you can see how the icon backgrounds are misaligning. It's just chaos. You don't want that. So in such cases, you will add what's called an invisible icon. Here's how you do that in Icon Board. In the imported icon list back in Icon Board, you can tap the crossed out eye icon. This will essentially create an empty space on your home screen the size of an icon that you can later delete and replace with your widget. These are also useful for creating just empty spaces in your setup for making your own custom layout on your home screen. So for example, if I want one 2x2 widget, I will create 4 invisible icons and place them on the left like this. If you actually go back out of the list, you will see how the invisible icon is creating this empty space on top. You can see how useful Icon Board actually is. You can actually do a lot more in this app, so be sure to explore it in your own time. Let us now actually apply our changes to our home screen to make it come to life. There are 3 methods to do so, and we will explore all of them. First is the most user-friendly for most people using profiles. Scroll all the way down to Install with Profile section. Here I like to enable blank icon labels, just because it makes the home screen look cleaner. But it's up to you if you want to enable it or not. Make sure Install with Profile is set to all apps, then tap Install Icons. Tap Allow on the next pop-up, then Close. And you can dismiss this screen as well. Go to your iPhone settings and here you will notice an option at the top called Profile Downloaded. Tap that and then tap Install. Type in your device PIN and install the profile. Once that is done, go to your home screen and check it out. Just like that, your icons are now applied on your home screen. But we're left with some junk invisible icons we do not need. If you're missing empty spaces within your setup, you can place your invisible icons there to do so. For the setup we're making, we don't need them. So let's get rid of them. For some odd reason, nobody seems to know how to bulk delete these because they're bookmarks and you have to delete them one by one. So here is an exclusive tip for you. Tap and hold to start wiggle mode. Then drag one icon with one finger and tap the rest of them with another so they're all under your finger. Drag them to a new empty screen and drop them. Tap the screen indicator dots, uncheck the screen you dropped your invisible icons into and tap the minus icon that just popped up and tap remove on both pop-ups. And that's it. I don't know how nobody seems to know this, but now you do. You are welcome. Oh, and we can now add our widgets on top just like this to complete this part of the section. We will get into more details about widgets in the next part of the video. Let's see if our icons even work at all. Okay, good, it works. But there's this stupid delay as you can see before opening apps. Some people may find this annoying, so let's try a different method that is more superior using shortcuts. This method is notorious for being very tedious, but with icon board and some tips I'll show you in a moment, we can make this process less painful. I'm going to hide this screen for now so we can stay organized and not make it confusing. You don't have to do this by the way, you can just remove everything and start over if you're exploring every method with me on your iPhone. Going back to icon board, I'm going to continue with my already created screen. This time scroll down to export icons section and select install with shortcuts. Here we will export each of our icon to photos and then create a shortcut of a shortcut one by one on our home screen. It's important to note that this process does get shorter as you will see when you create shortcuts for existing apps in the future. Our first icon is an invisible icon, which is very easy to apply. Let's open our shortcuts and for organization purposes, let's create a new folder. I will call it home screen, but you can call it whatever you like. Tap the plus icon at the top to create a new shortcut. Let's add a comment action. Otherwise, we can't save an empty shortcut. Tap the arrow and rename it to empty. Again, for organizational purposes. Tap done and you are good to go. Let's go back to icon board and tap save to camera roll. This will save your invisible icon to your photos. Then we go back inside our empty shortcut and tap the arrow. On all the iPhones, you will have a 3 dots option on the top right corner. Tap add to home screen. Tap on the shortcut icon to customize the icon. Tap choose photo and select the newest exported invisible icon. Tap choose, you can remove the label text completely and tap add. That's how you get an invisible icon through shortcuts on your home screen. For the rest of the invisible icons, you don't have to create more shortcuts. You simply scroll to the next one, tap save to camera roll and go back into your shortcut. Then on the same shortcut, you go to add to home screen and change its icon and label. It will create a new invisible icon without replacing it, so you can repeat this process for the rest of the icons on a single shortcut. Unless you are creating an empty space in your setup, there is no reason to export these at all if you're going to be replacing them with a widget. In such case, you can completely skip over this step, which I will do here because we will be replacing the top space with widgets. Let's scroll all the way to our first icon and tap save to camera roll. Now it's asking us to copy name. Tap on that to copy the app's name. This will be useful in a moment. Next, it will give you 2 options. If you don't have a shortcut created for this particular app, then you can tap install with a new shortcut. So let's do that now. It will immediately take you to a new shortcut page within shortcuts. Let's first change its name to the name we copied just a moment ago from icon board. This part is very important because otherwise your app will not only launch, but icon board will also not be able to locate your shortcut in the future. So make sure you copy the name and then paste it here properly. Next, we tell the shortcut what to do by adding an open app action, which we will do by tapping add action and searching for open app. Tap on the blue app text and search for the corresponding app. That's pretty much it when it comes to creating a new shortcut. You will follow this exact process for every new keyword new apps that you haven't created a shortcut for already. Then it's just a matter of going into the shortcut options, add to home screen, choose the exported icon, and again, if you want a label to your icons, you can keep it, edit it, or remove it altogether for a clean setup. Then tap add and boom. Tapping on the icon on your home screen will immediately launch your app without any delays. Now let's say for example in the future you are bored of your setup and you want to change it up with some new icons or you want to make changes to your existing ones. you actually don't have to go through all of this again. Back in the installation process, you save your icon to camera roll. Then you copy its name and then you tap the second option, which we didn't talk about, install with shortcut. This will open your existing shortcut, allowing you to edit your home screen with a new icon without reaching a new shortcut. This is why I like icon board so much. It makes this otherwise tedious and long process extremely user-friendly and saves you a ton of time. To save time, I will do a quick time lapse of me adding the rest of the icons to my home screen using the same steps. In case you are wondering whether it is safe to delete the icons from your photos, then yes, you can get rid of them after your icons are on the home screen, so that they don't clutter your camera roll. And congratulations, you have reached the end of part 1. If you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.